This goes live. All right.
All right.
Let's say we're live.
It is 2:37. We'll call the special meeting to order. Sandy, pledge allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
President Howard,
Here.
Councilman Sutton,
Aye, here.
Vice President Newburn.
Here.
We have a quorum.
New business, discussion regarding equipment purchase for the wastewater treatment plant. Okay.
I talked to Lou, you called me last Friday. I sent the message right to Lou. I called him. He sent the information directly to LAI to that.
Yeah,
Lynch.
to Pete.
That same day, of course, it was Good Friday, so he recontacted Pete on Monday and said, Lou did, and said, we need to know as soon as possible. And I talked to Lou yesterday, and LAI said that they would not bid on anything that Beal Anderson bid on.
Right.
But they were going to get a hold of West Tech.
Mm-hmm. For the clarifier.
And see if West Tech would want to bid, and he hasn't gotten back yet. So we're still waiting for those. These purchase orders, I talked to Lou about the purchase orders, and he said, well, we're still with the vendors, they're still trying to get that all together. He still would prefer that you guys would just, you kind of saw what the equipment list was. I think he gave me that to you at the meeting.
Yep.
And if you're comfortable, if you just authorize me to sign the purchase orders, then you guys don't have to keep having a meeting, because they're not ready yet, because we're still trying to gather that information. So if that's possible to do that, I
think it sounds.
Legal counsel.
you want to see what did you see what that looks like? Maybe you didn't see that. That's what it's going to be.
So are we buying the equipment
Yes. That's a purchase order.
as opposed to renting it?
Correct.
Okay.
Well, as opposed to buying it through the contractor.
Right.
Okay.
So you procure the equipment in an effort to save money, the overhead costs and that.
We're buying it direct, is what we're saying.
And then it total what did he say, about 500 and some thousand for that? I didn't bring those notes, but it's going to end up to be purchasing all that equipment. I think it was a little over $500,000 for the clarifiers and pumps and all the equipment.
Okay. So, let's see.
And the object was once we get it all, know what we're purchasing, then we can go let the bid. Is that the way you guys got it from me? Then we would bid, because the contractors would then know what equipment we're going to have to do. So.
I just don't want to run afoul of the purchasing statute. And so are you saying that this is a special purchase? As opposed to requiring sealed bids?
Tell you what, let's do. Let's call Lou.
Okay.
And let him, hopefully he'll.
Sounds like a game show.
Let's call it.
Let's call it. Is that one of those newfangled phones you got there?
Yeah, these are the new ones we just bought.
Hello,
Is this Lou?
it is.
Lou, I'm sitting at the town council meeting right now, and there are some questions that we need you to answer.
Okay.
Okay, now I'm gonna set you on the table, and Brody's gonna talk to you for a minute.
Okay.
Hi, Lou.
Hi.
Hi, so I just want to make sure that we're not running afoul of the public purchasing statute. We can talk on that.
On what?
The requirement for sealed bids for this work order, it's over 150,000.
Well, we advertised it for request for quotations for equipment. That's how we advertise it, but we did advertise it,
Okay.
and we required that the suppliers submit their quotes via email to Chuck's email address.
So are any of these purchases over 150,000?
Yes.
Okay. I don't feel comfortable making a recommendation until I look at what was done.
Okay.
You could approve subject to, then we don't come back. I just need to look at the advertisements that were done before I can give my seal of approval.
Sure, I understand.
Can he email it to me?
Yes.
Right now, could he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you hear that, Luke?
You guys want me to email the advertisement? Is that
Yeah,
what you're saying?
yes.
Yeah, let me see what I have here.
You didn't get a copy of that in your office. I know you paid for it.
I didn't look at my binder. Let me go see.
Okay.
Denise is gonna look at her binder too. I thought maybe she might have got a copy of that, because I know she paid
Yeah,
for it.
normally.
Yeah, so she's taking a look. So the question is, because of that, the cost, whether or not we're comfortable with just me signing that, or whether the council would need to sign that. But if it does go back where the council needs to sign it, then only you're gonna know when the purchase orders are gonna be ready to be signed. You would have to let us know based on when all the vendors are done, telling us when they could sign those. The worst case scenario is they'd have to sign them at either one of the regular board meetings or at a different time.
Yeah.
And you didn't really think that they'd be ready for bid by the end of the month at this point, do you?
I did at one point, but it's now the 9th,
So that,
and we haven't made approval or a motion to say, yeah, let's get it advertised. Plus, I wanted to make sure that in our specs, we could provide the bidders, the construction bidders, with the information as to the equipment that they were gonna install.
yeah, makes sense. She's looking at the paperwork now, Lou, so hang on a
Is
minute.
that it? Okay, good. We got it, Lou.
Okay, you got both the affidavit, the notice.
So this is for a clarifier. Is all of this fall under public works? It's not like general use equipment?
Yes.
All public works is all. Okay. Then we're fine.
We're good with that.
Yeah, because that's an exemption. So as long as this is like specific, like, a bobcat or something.
It's all,
Extremely specific.
yeah, to the,
Okay.
Sewer plant.
No, we're good. It's
Okay.
exempt.
Okay.
I approve.
Yeah, we just thought it would speed up the process a little faster if you guys, want to do that.
I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah. So,
Motion.
a motion, second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Okay, so as soon as he gets those done, as long as I look them over and they look good,
something.
And I'll let you guys
Yeah.
know when they come, if you want to take a look at them,
Right.
and then sign them, and then they go back to VS.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so once that's done, I think at the regular board meeting, we set up April 30th as a bid date. You guys, is that correct? I do believe so.
Yeah, I think that's what we originally talked about. So, based on information I have, and Nathan, we talked about reaching out to Pete Lynch,
Yes,
and I did. And Pete did come back saying the only thing he thought he might end up quoting on is a Westech clarifier.
yep,
But I haven't seen a quote from him.
and I don't know. I talked to him probably Monday.
So I guess where I sit, I'm a little bit in limbo at this point, unless you guys say, all right, close off the quotes. We choose the best we have at this point. I issue POs, and then at least I can put that information into the specs and get it out. But, you know, our gal here will have to contact the paper to find out how quickly they can publish an advertisement for bids. We can obviously upload the quest same day, but what I'd really like to do is give bidders at least 30 days to be able to put their bids together.
I've got one question.
Yes,
So let's say we purchase this equipment and then we bid the project and it comes in $1 million over. Then what do we do?
yeah. Well, we have to probably do some redesign, I suppose. I mean, I don't think it's gonna, I don't think that's gonna happen. But, you know, we talked when I was there last about eliminating the solids handling piece. Now, we can wait and issue that PO out of the gate.
Who knows
Yes,
what it's gonna come in at?
yeah.
But obviously, if it comes in over, you're gonna redesign and have to cut it.
I guess.
Otherwise,
But we can only redesign what that equipment will fit.
that's true.
True.
That is true.
I'm just trying to think out loud if we could issue a commitment to purchase or something and give a whole price for 60 days or something like that. You know what I mean? Tentative.
I would think that's maybe more prudent.
Yeah,
Because I mean, this is really, I mean, that, like the clarify, the pumps, the pumps are the pumps, but boy, that clarifier mechanism, I mean, that's gonna be strictly specific to that, to your design.
Yes. I don't know much except for, wanting to put a building over it, obviously, and then the solids handling, since we do have
Yeah,
another option in the meanwhile in terms of the rebids.
well, what's the chance, you think you could do that? I mean, the vendors would probably hold their price, wouldn't they?
Yeah, I reached back to all of them. And again, I probably need to quickly circle back to their proposals to see if they did put an expiration time on it, like good for 30 days or something like that.
I mean, I can't imagine,
Yeah, I think most everybody put 30 days. But you know, a lot of these suppliers, especially the reps, are kind of hungry. And I can say, hey, look, here was a little competition for your equipment. We want to make a commitment to you, but it'll be tentative.
Can you find that out?
Extend your old price, you know, 60 additional days or 45 additional days or something like that.
So how do we get from point A? Can we make the, or do we just have,
I didn't hear that quite.
well, I guess, how do we, how long would it take you to find that out?
I can start asking those questions this afternoon, actually.
I mean, do we just approve this with that contingency too?
Yeah, I think that would be a prudent thing to do.
Yeah, sounds logical.
Okay. Is there a motion to that effect?
Motion.
Second.
All's in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay,
All right. And now they're gonna approve anything until you
Right.
guys all
right,
you do
Right.
the thumbs up.
Yeah.
So, okay.
okay.
So that, I think that was proven too, Lou. So that'll answer that question. So you just gotta keep us informed.
Okay. Now, in terms of a receipt of bids, construction bids date, seeing the fact that, you know, by the time we probably, well, again, I think we probably need to let the bidders know whose equipment they're gonna be installing. So let's just say by Monday, I get that squared away and we can advertise Tuesday. That would put receipt of bids somewhere around the 14th of May. Does that work?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, it'll have to be.
Have to be.
Can't do it any sooner. So,
No,
yeah.
Now, I really wouldn't want to because I hate rushing contractors to get pricing and then they feel like,
agreed.
I don't think we have good enough time and we're gonna pass.
Right.
30 days is pretty standard.
Yeah. I agree. You don't want anybody making any shortcuts.
Yeah, okay.
So that's the new bid date, it's May 14th?
Well, if Lou can get it by then.
So May 14th, is that the new, when are you gonna advertise for the bids?
I'm gonna try to advertise early next week.
Early next week. So the bid opening will be May 14th, correct?
Correct, yes.
Okay,
I think everybody's in agreement. Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right.
So what we'll do is we'll run the advertisement, we'll upload the quest as well. And then we'll make them have sealed bids due into the town hall by 2:00 local time. How about, 2:00 local time on the 14th.
Who's gonna open up the bids?
I can come up and open the bids. I mean, or, with you or with somebody. The general procedure is this: we'll rip them open, read them aloud. I'll bring the bids back with me. We'll do what's called a certified bid tabulation to make sure all the documents that were required with their bid bond, that type of thing, Form 96 is included. And then return those back to you along with the certified bid tab and a letter of recommendation if we're in fact able to do that based on numbers.
you okay with that, Brody?
Yeah, is that okay? Okay.
Okay, that sounds
You
perfect.
don't need to be here for that?
No, because he needs to decide if they are responsive.
Okay.
Okay.
And none of us can do that.
Okay.
Brady, you could.
No,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not responsible. What do you say? I can't determine if somebody else is.
That's the way we do it with the community crossing. Jim
Right,
opens
just-
up,
Yeah.
Jim makes sure they're, and then he submits the financial stuff.
All right.
So, yeah. Sounds good, Lou.
Okay,
Yeah,
All right?
all right, I'll get to work.
All right.
Thank you.
thanks, Lou.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Is there any more discussion? Not, we'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All's in favor?
Aye.
Nothing.